using DEX signals and knowing what they are and how to use them. Well, how did we create our signals? Well, many months ago, we were looking for strategies that would yield consistent results. We just couldn't find them. We found a few that gave us good results at certain times and some that were not so great at some times and would sort of circumnavigate the entire process by the amount of times it lost. We began to test so many strategies, we were getting sort of lost in a sea of data. So we created a process that we call the strategy tester. And what this does is it takes all these different strategies and all these different parameters that we placed in and creates models around the information. The information then becomes tested, and we began to compile this information. We began to find certain algorithms and certain patterns, if you will, that we began to give us timing and predictive probability of a direction. And once we started to find this, the triggers and the alerts and the time frames that we were using on Nadex and throughout international binaries, after filtering this data, we began to find some very strong solutions. We use this information in a process called predictive data analytics. This is where we take all this information and predict the direction and the range of that direction over a period of time. What are they? Well, they're set throughout the day, our signals. They are set with a range, not at current price, but at a range in order to be able to better house a direction over a line depending on when you get into the actual trade and how far you can go. They are also set with that strong probability of direction that really do help you on the international binary side because it helps give you just a little bit more advantage over the standard signals network that's out there. Most of all, they're very accurate for that range and for that direction. Word of warning though, do not trade live until you know how our signals work and you've trained with them. And I don't mean just one or two trades that you've put in. Oh my God. No, you must make a tremendous amount of trades in making sure that you don't make mistakes, that you follow the process, that you know how to confirm them, that you know how to do top-down analysis, all those particular processes before you begin to trade live. Okay, let's use some common sense here. You're not in a race to ruin. You're here to make money and be a trader. And that's what I'm going to help you do. The signal types we have, very simple. We have 4x binaries. In those daily signals, they come out at the same time every day for a standard time on an expiry that is used on nadex.com. And we've done that because we needed to start at a process with a broker that we trust. And that broker we extremely trust. We don't receive any money from that broker and commissions from sending anybody or mentioning their name or what have you. But they're just a broker that we trust. Intraday trades also come out every hour, 23 hours a day, from Sunday night 6 p.m. Eastern Time to Friday afternoon 4 p.m. Eastern Time. Usually between 4 and 5 signals an hour, depending on the pair and the movement of the market. Tremendous amount of signals. We also have commodity indice binaries, where we put them out on a daily margin like we do with our Forex and on intraday. These aren't as abundant. They have a little bit more volatility, but they still can be followed with a little bit of confirmation and top-down analysis, and they still can be watched as news features and other things are put in front of you. Our signal times all can be found in the membership portal as soon as you log in. A equation that we use here that sort of helps us understand the mentality of the trade. This is your life equation here, and this you should be living this mantra day in and day out. We refer to this as consistency plus volume equals goal. And why is this so important? Because as you begin to progress as a trader, finding consistent signals and consistent wins, once you begin to find that consistency, winning 1 trade, 2 trades, 3 trades, you don't need to make more trades to make more money at this point. On the average, if you're winning 3 trades a day, and let's just say you're not losing these at all because you're picking your right ones, you're not going after every single trade that's there, every single signal, you begin to place 1 contract on each one of these trades. Now, doing that each day, how do you make more money? If you only have time each day to make 3 trades and they're winning on a high success rate for you, how do you make more money? You can't make more time, you can't make more trades because you're sort of stuck within this time frame. Well, simply enough, add more contracts if you're using Nadex, or add more money per trade per each one that you do if you're using international binaries. It's that simple. Once you begin consistent, now the non-simple part is being consistent. Okay? It takes a long time to get consistent. In order to do so, you need to train, and train. That means using demo. That means logging into hundreds of trades to learn how to use that process. Now, maybe you already think you got it. Maybe you already think, well, I already know how to trade. But you haven't used our signals. You haven't used our system. You haven't used the mentality that we teach just yet. And how long will it take you to be able to do that? Well, if you're talented or if you had experience, it shouldn't take you more than a week or two. Yeah, I mean a week or two of really hard work and really hard training. I'm not here to give you some sort of glass house look at everything. I'm a serious trader that takes this very serious, and I do very well at it because I use that mentality of consistency plus volume reaches me to my goal. Our signal system looks like this. Now, we deliver signals in two fashions. The first one, if you're a pro trader, if you're not a pro trader, all those signals go onto a certain page. Okay, there's several pages that you can attach yourself to find our signals, like our dailies pages, our intraday pages, our indices and commodities. They're all on the site. Now, if you're a basic member, you're only going to receive dailies. If you're a pro member, you'll receive every single signal that we have. Now, let's break them down just a little. Our open time is the time that the signal came available to us, is the trigger time, the time that it came out. All right, here being a military time. So if you don't know how to read military time, please look it up on Google, and there's some very easy ways to learn how to read military time. But the close time is set to the expiry time that we've created on Nadex. This is very important, whether it's an intraday or a daily trade, because this is the one you're going to set it to on the expiry. That means that it's good. This signal for that direction is good to this time period. Okay. It has the asset, of course, self-explanatory. The direction, whether it's sell, buy, call, put, it's all going to either say sell or buy. Very simple. The open price. Now, this you have to be a little bit careful of, because the understanding here is that this is not set to the current price that's coming out, like for an international binaries. You're used to other signal companies doing that. We don't do that. This is set to a range, which means that the current price might be a little bit higher where it's at right now, or a little bit lower where it's at right now. So always keep that in mind. Also, when seeing this signal, as soon as you go to Nadex, you're not going to see this price may not be available. Because it's set at a range, we give our signals basically time and price, time being the two vertical lines, price being the horizontal lines. And as the time pushes the market either up or down due to sales or buys on the market, okay, at certain points prior to our system, we set triggers that if it does a certain thing, it creates that as a sell or a buy. Okay, being in this case, it would be considered a buy. And at the expiry, if it hits that mark, that's considered a winner. Okay, that's in the money. If it hits it on the outside, consider out of the money. Very simple. Now, in order for us to create a direction, when we set this, we say that it would be no lower than this particular mark here. And so even though that the signal kind of came out right here, it's not going to give you a current price on every single trade. Could it be close sometimes? Absolutely. Okay. But the idea here is to create a process that gives you a probability of direction for a time period, as well as a floor or a ceiling that it won't go to or will go past. Now, the close price is set to 0 here because this trade's still active. Okay, the win ratio is set to 93.3 because prior to this trade being open, the winning ratio of the last 100 trades for this asset means that it won 90 times out of 100. Okay, the pips are set to 0 here because, again, it's an open and it doesn't say how much it's won just yet or how much it's lost. In this graphic, it shows is a different sale. It's not the same one, but the open and close price, okay, the close price is now there and the pips are now there. The winning ratio usually would change at that point unless it's just been out for so long. But this winning ratio is over the last 100 trades. The close price now is set at that current price that happens when the market closes for that expiry. And so the difference between the open price and the close price is the amount of pips that it has won by. Okay. And this will give us some good data when we want to bring down the idea of should we choke up or not choke up. Okay. Now, this risk disclaimer is up here because I'm going to show you a little bit of what I do, and I just want you to know that all results may vary and there's risk to trading the market. That's why I have this up there. Now, how does Max trade? Well, first off, not as much as you may think. And no, it's not because I don't have a lot of time. Well, it is because I don't have a lot of time. It's because I know that I wait for my perfect trades. Okay? I wait for the perfect trades process to come over. The signal comes out and there's a price on Nadex at that contract that when it comes out, that's referred to as a bullseye. If there's $20 or $30 on that for profit margin, I'll take that one. But only after I do a little bit of top-down analysis and I make sure my trend's going in the right direction and I have a good feeling about that process. Remember, trading is one part mechanical and one part creative. You have to know how to balance in between the two processes. Okay. If I don't have one in there for that signal, I might look at doing a choke up, which means coming up or going down in a strike to be able to find something that has good money on it of 20 to 30 or more dollars on it. Or I might try to do a scalp series trade. Now in doing that, I go to more at the monies and I use the direction, the probability of direction to kind of help me get into premium on the actual trades. But all this is in our Pro Series inside. But I take my trades that I feel are perfect. And yes, they are in a range, so you not always get a bullseye. Take responsibility for your work. If you are here to be a part-time trader, then taking a bullseye or setting working orders to keep in mind that this is the less work you do, the more opportunity that it is and you have the chance to lose. Also, remember that you don't need to take 50 trades a day. 1 or 2 and applying the volume, the consistency plus volume process will simplify and create a profitable margin for you. But simply wait for your perfect trades and apply that volume. Prevent yourself from trading with too many assets at once. You risk your risk management, and most of all, use common sense. I wish you all the best of luck, and I hope you trade well. I'm Max Farrell, and this is Dex Signals.